We just can't stop talking about Comic-Con and all those sweet, sweet movie reveals. So today, we're gonna break down everything you missed in that Justice League trailer. I meant special Comic-Con footage. Because the powers that WB made it clear that this isn't technically a trailer, probably because the movie's like in the middle of shooting right now. That said, come on you guys, this is totally a trailer, or at least a non-stop barrage of every joke, gag, and moment of brevity you've filmed so far to assuage fans that BVS is far in the rearview mirror. Either way, it worked! It looks great, we're psyched, so let's break it all down. We start with a bearded Bruce Wayne on the hunt for Aquaman during his Justice League recruitment tour. The facial hair implies that Batfleck's been taking a little time off from the cowl, which makes us wonder, why? Did it take this long to locate Aquaman even with all of Bruce Wayne's resources, or is crime way down as a result of Batman murdering that warehouse full of thugs? And don't try to tell me that he didn't. Just look at all that blood splatter. That's a man's head juice. No debating it. Anyway, it looks like Aquaman's been hiding out somewhere in the north as Affleck mentions the King Tide, which is reserved for the Pacific coast and a few other continents. Since he's speaking English, we're guessing he's here, but he could just as well be in Australia or New Zealand. Next up, we see a mysterious box getting buried in the ground by some Vikings. Since it's been confirmed that Mother Boxes, the crazy supercomputer technology used by Darkseid and his crew, will be involved with the plot of Justice League, we're guessing this is an ancient version of one of those. Also, considering Steppenwolf, Darkseid's uncle and the villain of Justice League, wears a sick horned helmet, we're wondering if these Viking looks might be inspired by his, or even if they worship him as a god. And finally, we get an appearance from my hero, Wonder Woman herself, carrying her shield from BVS, not the one she had in the Wonder Woman trailer. Next up, back to Aquaman, finishing a full bottle of liquor as he walks into a massive wave, which, we get it, Snyder. He's tough, he drinks in the morning, he's got tats and super sensitive areas, he withstands huge waves. Ooh, he don't give a We get it. Like I did that. And then we get our first look at Cyborg. Ray Fisher's Victor Stone looks damn good in that GCU Letterman jacket. This Gotham City student dons number 7 and plays quarterback for the GCU football team. And the number 7 is most likely a nod to Cyborg joining as the 7th member of the Justice League, seeing as Green Lantern didn't make the cut this time out.
I know, right?
This guy seems pretty serious, which, you know, makes sense since his origin story is pretty Frankenstein-y. He didn't ask for his powers, and they make him look like a bit of a monster, so there you go. He should make a pretty hilarious pair with the Flash, though, both here and as a co-star in Barry Allen's solo flick, which leads us to the coolest location we see in this trailer, the Flash Cave. All this technology must have taken forever to put together, or actually, maybe just like a few milliseconds, seeing as Barry is the fastest man alive. Let's take a look at everything we noticed in this space. Check out his brand new battle-scarred Flash suit we see on one of his many desks. Thankfully, Barry has a copy of the Windows 98 instruction manual to help him figure out all the schematics for the suit, pictured on a few of his dozen monitors around the room. And speaking of computers, we see what could be a reference to the Suicide Squad on the far left, just to the right of that not at all creepy Batfleck waiting in the dark in Barry's second favorite chair. And speaking of creepy, the Flash Cave looks like it could actually be a former carnival storage warehouse. We see a couple of old games in the background, like a test your strength hammer kind of game. Please tell me that we'll see the Justice League face off on that thing. And a couple of smaller things we noticed kicking around in there. Twinkies, like my favorite thing ever. Essential for when you're burning millions of calories a day as you sprint through time and space, as well as a bike, which seems a bit useless for the fastest man alive. This pic of Nikola Tesla, a nice homage from the kid who generates lightning bolts every time that he moves, and finally a couple shots of Rick and Morty in the background, so you know, he's a fun guy. Bruce takes a pretty bold chance checking that batarang at the kid's head, by the way. How many teen corpses did Alfred have to dispose of before Bruce found the right red blur? I'm gonna ballpark it at around a dozen or so. Love the way they're conveying Flash's perception of our time, by the way. Incredibly cool. It really does feel like stepping into another plane of reality. There's one shot of what we're guessing is the actual Batcave where Bruce and Diana are hanging out in front of a computer, something we know they both love to do because of all their emailing in BVS. One thing we also notice here, this schematic on the screen, it's got fins, wind flow, looks kind of like a flying vehicle. We've heard that Bruce is cooking up up a Quinjet-like plane called the Flying Fox to cart the super team around in. Is this a proto-version of that design? And moving on, let's talk about Aquaman's crystal light gray eyes. Impressively enough, there's a scientific explanation for them. This Atlantean wouldn't need darker eye colors to protect his eyes from the sun, which could be how they evolved to be quite light, like a fish. Very clever. Now the trailer wraps up with shots of all of our heroes, with Cyborg in particular looking both cool and gruesome at the same time, before showing the Justice League members together for the first time, minus Aquaman and the still dead but probably not for long Superman. And what's this? Is Batman's neck skinnier than his necklace BVS suit, or is that just wishful thinking? Anyway, this movie looks like a ton of fun, and let's just hope it stays that way as we see more and more of it in the coming year before release. But what do you guys think? Do you dig the Justice League trailer? Does it seem to you like Snyder's turning things around? Notice anything cool that we might have missed? Let's discuss. And if you missed any of our San Diego Comic-Con coverage, go back and watch it because it is legit good. Check out yesterday's Wonder Woman trailer breakdown, our full analysis of the DC panel, and will the Joker wear the bat suit on the Suicide Squad? We've got a great theory about why he just might. Find all that and more over at Nerdist.com.